Black Widow starring Scarlett Johansson is now out in theaters. This is the story, the solo story of the Black Widow that we know in the MCU. This one, she is after a particular villain who has been haunting her whole entire life. And she has now found out that she in fact didn't kill him all those years ago. He's still alive, running things and trying to create world domination, as all the villains do. So I'm going to tell you guys exactly how I felt about Black Widow. Did I love it? Did I hate it? But before that, I want to know, what did you guys all think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Smash it in the comments below. Let's get this discussion going. Smash that like button, hit subscribe as well. And you know what? Without further ado, let's jump into this review of Black Widow. Okay, so Black Widow, a movie that I thought I would never ever see, and a movie that I thought I didn't ever need. And that's the real thing here. I never really asked for a Black Widow movie, nor a Hawkeye movie, but we are getting a Hawkeye series. And I never thought we would see one, but here we are. We're here. Now, what did I actually think of this Black Widow movie? I'm going to be completely honest with you all. I have been hearing a lot of negative things about this movie, some positive things. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think this is necessarily the best MCU film, nor do I think it's the worst MCU film. I think some people are just hating on it for not really no reason, but I think they're just over-hating it. I don't think it's that bad. It's middle tier to me. I think it's probably in that 14 to like 18 mark, just in that little pack of mid-tier MCU films. It's got its flaws, but it's also a fun time. Now, just to clarify, this takes place between Civil War and Infinity War. That's the time frame when this takes. So there was a lot of arguments and stuff about when Black Widow actually took place, and it's in between that time frame of those two movies. Now, let's get to some of the negatives. Now, one of the negatives of this film is the villains of the film. The villains of the film are very bland and generic. Taskmaster, whatever you want to call him, is basically just there as a force. That is literally all he is. There's no character to him whatsoever. There's nothing at all to like or feel sorry or nothing. There's no actual character to Taskmaster. That was a bit of a downer. I was a bit annoyed, a bit disappointed by that. And the big bad villain overall, it's such a generic villain. And I don't like that. I was really hoping we were going to see something different. But his whole ultimate goal is, again, world domination. What is with people and their world domination? Why do humans just want world domination? Why can't you just be like Thanos or like someone else, like Ultron or something like that, that has this unique motive about them? Even Zemo had a unique motive about him in Civil War. He wasn't out for world domination. He just wanted to pull the Avengers punk, get his revenge. Why can't we have unique motives for these villains? If we're just getting generic ones, I want to take over the world. Same thing over again. Now, I think one of probably the biggest thing that I have with this as a negative is the stakes of this film. Because having it in that time frame really hurts this film regarding stakes. Because I already know where Black Widow ends. I know that she's going to survive because she's in Infinity War. She's in Endgame. I know her fate. So when I go back and watch this movie, and it's in that time frame, I don't feel anything because I know she's going to be completely fine. So there's no stakes in this movie at all. And that really hurts it to me. That really takes a lot out of it. Because like when I'm watching Infinity War, Civil War and that for the first time, I'm feeling the stakes because I'm like, this is going to have ramifications. I don't know what the outcome is. who's going to die, who's not, and all that. That's why when Endgame, certain people die in Endgame, it's kind of a bit of a shocker because you're not expecting that. But here, I expect her to survive because I know she survives. So it takes away that element of being surprised and being on the edge of my seat and having that investment because I'm thinking that she could potentially die. That doesn't happen, and it's a bit disappointing. It does take away from it. But overall, there is a few things as well, negative-wise, like some shots look a bit wonky and stuff like that with the CGI, but I mean, it's definitely got its flaws. But when we go to the positives, I must say the family dynamic is actually the best part of this film. The whole interaction between all four of them is just brilliant. Florence Pugh, I think that's how you say her name. She is every time I see her in a movie, she just gets better and better and better. She's incredible in this film. Absolutely incredible. Yelena as a character is incredible. She is one of the best parts of this film, and I want to see her character a lot more in the MCU, and I can't wait to see her moving forward in the MCU. Black Widow is Black Widow. We get a little bit more of her origin story as well. Get a bit more of some things that she's gone through. Red Guardian, whatever you want to call him. David Harbour, absolutely funny, brilliant in it as well. The whole dynamic of the family was probably the best thing about this film, and I was really invested in their whole relationship, how they were dramatic as a family, falling apart and trying to rebuild the relationships again. That was great to me. The story overall, I didn't have a major problem with the story. It is a pretty generic story. It's just about basically getting revenge and finishing a mission and stuff like that. There's not too much layers to the story. There's no real... This doesn't really... I'm going to be completely honest with you. You don't need to watch Black Widow to understand the MCU. It's one of those films where you could skip Black Widow and it's not going to change anything. It's really not going to change anything at all. And that's a bit of a downer. The cinematography is great. I think the music in this, though, was actually really, really good. It's one of the better scores in the MCU movies. The MCU has struggled with a lot of their scores. I mean, DC are on top of it. When you got Hans Zimmer and stuff like that doing your scores and stuff, of course you're going to have incredible. So they're starting to pick it up now. We've seen that in Disney Plus shows, and now we're seeing it in this. The score is getting better and better and better with each movie. This is no different. But I think the costumes in that look absolutely incredible as well. I have to say that. But overall, I think it's a mid-tier MCU film. The action is actually quite good. I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed the action quite a lot. I think that was another strong point, was the whole action sequence and that. I really wanted them to do a bit more of a spy element, but we didn't really get that spy element. By the trailers, it looked like it was going to be a really spy-centric movie, but it wasn't. It's really action-based MCU movie. It really is. It feels sort of paint by the numbers, but overall, I enjoyed it. There is a post-credit scene as well that I'm a bit confused by as well. I mean, I don't know how that works because I'm pretty sure after Endgame, people probably already know what actually happened. But hey, I don't know. I mean, you have to see the end credit scene for yourself. And it's a bit different. They don't do the credit scene like they normally do in the MCU. They actually go straight to the credits, and it's at the end of the full credits. So, it's a bit different. I don't know why they did that. But overall, it's a fun time. Enjoyed it. Not gonna lie. Could be better. Yes, it could be a lot better. But I don't think it's definitely one of the worst films. So, yeah, let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think of Black Widow? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Smash it down in the comments below. Hit that like button. Hit subscribe as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.